How's it going, gang? Chris Card's back through the mail. Monday, 7 returns for you today, including our first one back from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this day after Easter Sunday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope nice, sunny spring Easter weekend. And we've got a flimsy index card here, unsigned. Those flimsy index cards, don't buy the flimsy ones. Get the thick ones. I got the flimsy ones because I think I was in a pinch, but I got like 6 trillion of them now, so I'm never going to get through them. I should just throw them out, I guess, maybe. George Medich here on a 76 Topps card and a 76 Topps traded card and a 74 Topps team card, along with Ron Swoboda, who also signed it. A nice return from George Doc Medich, who was a 30th round draft pick out of the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine back in 1970 of the Yankees. Played for the Yankees for a few years, actually only 4 years of his 11-year career with the Yankees before they sent him off to Pittsburgh. As you see there in the 76 Topps traded card. Spent all of 77 with Pittsburgh. Actually spent all of 76 with Pittsburgh before Pittsburgh shipped him off to Oakland. And then the Mets got him, and then he was waived, and the Seattle Mariners got him. So he had a busy 1977 playing with 3 different teams. He also got his medical degree in 1977. Not sure how he was able to do that while being traded all over the country. Perhaps he took some online classes. I have no idea how that happened, but he did it. Good job on George Doc Medich. Not a good job. He lost his medical license later on in his career. It was expelled because of writing fake scripts. He got in trouble back in the early 80s for doing it, and then 20 years later in the early 2000s, he got busted for doing it again. So, no longer Doc Medich return here. Nice return. Who else do I get on that Yankees team card? Let me know in the comments down below. I got Ron Swoboda on there, so I'm already $5 into this card plus George Medich. So nice return from George. Let's move on, guys, to return number 2. All right, gang. Next return from Philadelphia, PA. So we got Pittsburgh and we've got Philadelphia. Got the entire state of Pennsylvania covered in these first 2 returns. We've got Chaz McCormick. Chaz McCormick, who plays for the Houston Astros at the moment, pride of Westchester, Pennsylvania, 5-year career, started in 2020. We got a thanks so much, Chris, on, it looks like he signed it on the penny sleeve as well as a little card. Now, he does ask for a donation to, I think, a local food bank, $5. I sent him $5, so that's probably why I got the thank you. I knew he was going to send back the card asking for money, so I just kind of preemptively sent him money. You don't have to. He does sign for free, but he will ask for a donation, and he'll send you the little business card here of him and his boys. And there he is asking for some money to be sent to the food bank or whatnot. So nice return from Chaz McCormick. Always nice to get a current player. Of course, 2023 was probably his best year in the bigs. 273, 22 home runs playing for the Astros. 2024 was sort of a lost season for him with some injuries and getting sent down. And 2025 so far, he has really played in limited time in the big league so far in 2025. I think he only got 10 plate appearances or something like that. So bats right, throws left. In fact, only one of 2 major leaguers back in 2023 who did that. And the other was his teammate, Jake Meyer. And that's, of course, position players to do that. Not very common for position players to do that. Maybe more so than, of course, pitchers, but then, of course, pitchers don't hit anymore, so there's that. So Chaz McCormick, nice return from him. I love this 2024 Topps card. Really sweet. In fact, it's literally the only 2024 Topps card I own. I bought it specifically to send to him. I think it's a cool picture right there against the waste management wall. And is that Houston? I'm not sure where that's at. Maybe you Astro fans can tell me what wall he's bouncing off against. But nice return from him. He is still returning from Westchester, PA, even as of this filming on April 20th or whatever day it is. And so, yeah, like I said, I did send him some money because I know plenty of people won't send him money, and I don't want him to get discouraged and stop signing for us fans. So let's hope send him enough money to keep him going on signing for us fans. And should have maybe asked for an inscription on the card. World Series champion in 2022, as well as maybe even a Major League Baseball debut inscription, but didn't think about it till just now. Go figure. Let's move on, guys, to return number 3. Houston, Texas, our next return here. Return numero tres. And we've got some questions. No, we got some paperwork back from Past Pros, actually. PastPros.com, they have a whole roster of players. You pay them, you print off the email, and you mail it to the player with the card, and they hopefully send it back. And they don't normally send you back the paperwork along with the card, but this guy did. This guy being Andre Robertson, who was $13, including Pass Pro's fee. I think it's $10 for him, and then $3 to Pass Pros. Finished this 1982 Topps Yankees Future Stars card along with McGaffigan as well as Balboni, all signed in blue. This card looks pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. Well worth it. Well worth the money. In fact, the Yankees shortstop situation between Bucky Dent and Derek Jeter was supposed to be filled by Andre Robertson. He was the heir apparent, and he was going to be a long-time shortstop. It did not work out that way. In fact, he only ended up on the Yankees because Thurman Munson was killed in a plane crash, and the Yankees needed a catcher. So they got Rick Cerrone and Andre from Toronto, sending Chris Chambliss to the Blue Jays. And unfortunately, after a 13-inning game on August 17th, 1983, he was in a pretty bad car accident along with one of his high school sweethearts I had visiting from Texas. They were both thrown from the card because, back in the 80s, you didn't wear your seatbelt. And he broke his neck, messed up his shoulder, broken ribs, all torn up. She, an aspiring ballerina, would never walk again. She ended up becoming a lawyer. He did come back, but messed up his knee almost immediately after coming back from the injuries and was never the same. His entire 5-year Major League career was spent playing for the Yankees, even though they did ship him off to the Braves along with Ken Griffey Sr. in, I think, 1985 in exchange for Paul Zuvella, and never made it to the bigs ever again. Sort of a cautionary tale. Wear your seatbelts, kids. Who doesn't wear their seatbelts now? I see people that die and they don't have their seatbelt on, especially people that are in like car chases. Like if you're in a car chase, first thing I'm doing, I'm putting my seatbelt on. And it's just crazy. These guys are getting like thrown out of their cars during car chases. I'm like, come on, don't be a statistic. Wear your seatbelt. Let's move on, guys, to return number 4. All right, friends, we got one from, I think it's South Dakota. I can barely read it here. Is it South Dakota? I can't tell. I got a camera in my face, guys, and lights, and, this is hard work what I do. It's from somewhere. We'll find out at the end of the video when I show you the picture of the send-off. And we've got a nice thick index card, unsigned back. And we've got 74 Topps team card and signature card signed by one more player. We got Horacio Pena with the weird double signature in the upper left. We've got bottom left, Gene Tennis. We got Bert Campaneris and Darryl Knowles. And then we've got in the upper right-hand corner, a new addition. We got Dick Green. Dick Green, which sounds like a terrible medical condition. He played all 12 years with the Oakland A's, actually played for the Kansas City A's back in 1963, and played all the way through 1974 when they, of course, went over to Oakland halfway through his career there in Oakland. He was released before the 75 season and decided to retire instead of finding another team to play for. Of course, he went out on a high note, 3 consecutive World Series championships with that 74, 73, and 72 A's team. And he looks great on this A's card, guys. I want to kind of cap this card off, the signature card, not the signature card, the team card with Raleigh fingers. But for now, any suggestions on who maybe I should get on this card to sign? They're signing. They don't want to. No one wants to sign on the players, but I don't really care. Sign on the players. Cover this whole card with autographs. So maybe one more player on the A's if you have any suggestions. Dick Green was a suggestion from somebody, and I followed through with it. Any other suggestions, let me know before I cap it off with probably Raleigh fingers and $15. Nice return from Dick Green. Let's move on, my friends, to our, what are we on? 5th return of the day, I think. But don't quote me on that because I'm literally always wrong. I can never keep track until they get to my last envelope, and I'm like, I've only got one envelope to open, so this must be number 7. So let's go. All right, gang, this is indeed return number 5. I got 2 envelopes left to open up after this one from Mobile, Alabama. And we've got Paul Reuschel here, brother of Rick, on a 78 Topps card, as well as a 77 Topps Big League Brothers card, which I will send through Rick and get completed. Paul also included his Major League Baseball debut date, which I asked for very nicely, and he obliged. Kind of a weird card because Paul and Rick's names need to be swapped, so they're under each other, but that's neither here nor there. He did sign his right photo, even though it's his wrong name under it, but anyway, he played 5 years in the bigs. Of course, his brother played 19 years in the big leagues, of course, both in the Hall of Fames for the Giants and the Cubs. Paul played for the Cubs as well, 4 years of his 5 years. He finished off his career with the Indians. He and his brother pitched a complete game shutout back in 1975. Rick started and went 6 1/3. Paul finished the game, went the remaining game, and of course that's the only pair of brothers to pitch a shutout in big league history, and I can't imagine that ever happening again. Nice return from Paul Reuschel. It's going to be awesome to get that 77 Topps card completed by Rick. Nice return from him. Let's move on, my friends, to return number 6. All right, gang, we are cruising along here, Oakland, California, for our 6th return of the day. Good job, Chris. We've got an index card, another thick index card, and we got Paul Zuvella here on an 87 Topps. Paul, who I just mentioned, actually was going to be the Yankees' shortstop of the future in exchange for Andre Robertson and Ken Griffey Sr., who went to the Braves. He started off his career on the Braves, spent 4 of his 9 years with the Braves before kicking around Cleveland, the Yankees, as well as the Kansas City Royals, as you see on the cards up there. But yeah, started off the season 0 for 28 in 1985, I think, and basically relegated to AAA towards the end of his stay there. So Paul didn't have he was definitely not the heir apparent to Bucky Dent or Andre Robertson. So there you guys go. Paul Zuvella here on an 87 Topps card signed for my set. Of course, 74, 87, and 84 Topps and 89 Upper Deck are the 4 sets I chase to get as many cards autographed as possible. You can see those videos I put out, those update videos every single Friday. And there you guys go. Paul Zuvella, 87 Topps was my last Friday's update, so check that out. Nice return from him. And let's move on, my friends, to our final return of the day. All right, gang, very last return to this week's Through the Mail Monday, Dr. Frank L. Charton. And how do you figure that? We got 2 doctors on this week's Through the Mail Monday. One sort of a disgraced doctor, the other being Mr. Frank Lane, quote-unquote Pete Charton. I'm not sure with a name like Frank how you get the nickname Pete, but that is him. Pete Charton on his card here. Played for the 1964 Red Sox. Went 0-2 that year with a 5.26 ERA. Got into 25 games for the Red Sox that year, and that was his only year in the bigs. Dalton Jones also autographed that card to complete it. Nice return from him. Of course, he added his debut date inscription, which I did ask nicely for. He obliged. He was a doctor of geology. That's right. He got his PhD in geology after his playing career was over with. Went on to teach for about 35, 40 years career teaching at several colleges. So nice return from Mr. Pete Charton. Nice to get this completed. Thank you, Dalton Jones. Look at that little signature down there. I think I asked for his debut as well, but he did not oblige. So sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But if you don't ask, you never get. So there you guys go. Put it in the books. Another Through the Mail Monday. Finished, completed, done. There is this week's haul, as you can see. Nice to get a few more of the team cards from 74 Topps. That A's card is really filling in nicely and is just about done. That Yankees card, I feel like I'm just starting off on that. Got some nice white space in the bottom left for someone else to sign it, so we'll see where that goes from here. Hopefully you guys can suggest a few players for me. I can send that out to. And what else is there to say, guys? It is, what is it? Blah, 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 blah. It is, it's April 21st, I think. Yeah, it's 21st. 7, 14, 21, 28. Those are the dates of the Mondays this week, which I always put on my spreadsheet when I'm doing the video, so I know what Through the Mail Monday my requests are on, so I can always cross-reference things and all that stuff. So got quite the operation over here. I spent most of the last week in Vegas. In fact, I'm coming back right now. In fact, I'm probably on a... Nope, it's midnight on Monday, so I'm sleeping, but I'll be up early in the afternoon to... fly back to Oregon. Looking forward to it. Of course, I told you guys last week I was going to hit up WrestleMania. I'm not sure if I did or not. I'm pretty sure I did. But since I'm filming this like a week early, I can't tell you if I'm at WrestleMania or not. Hopefully I had a good time. Hopefully I was able to get an affordable ticket. I think my wife wanted to go to at least one day to check it out. So hopefully I'll go on Saturday with her and check it out. WrestleCon also. So a big week of hanging out in Las Vegas and enjoying some sun, soaking up the rays, walking around Red Rock, doing all sorts of things. And yeah, follow me on ChrisCards86 at my Instagram page, which I update frequently, sometimes. Maybe not as frequently as most people, but for me, I think it's a lot. And so I'll always post pictures and stuff on my trip and all that stuff on there. So check that out if you want or not. I don't care. No pressure. This is a no pressure channel, guys. Do whatever you like. I believe in freedom of action, freedom of choice. I like to not pressure you guys into doing anything you don't want to do, including subscribing or liking or commenting down below, which you can do if you want. But you know what? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it if you don't. But you know what? It'd be nice if you did. No pressure, though. I want you guys to be relaxed and enjoy the rest of your Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Whenever you're watching this, I appreciate it. Love it. Nice returns this week. All sorts of crazy stories with a lot of these guys, and had fun talking about them and seeing the beautiful ink on the cards, on the cardboard. Chaz McCormick, that's pretty cool, getting sort of a modern guy who, like I said, I send them off to quite often. You just never see him because I never get them back. So basically, it's just a way for me to throw away cards without actually physically throwing them away, which of course I couldn't do. It's against my religion. And that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.